Liebe Kolleginnen und Kollegen,
Dear colleagues, I am very pleased to introduce you to the simple method of ultrasound diagnosis and the associated interpretation of scans today. In the following video, I would like to demonstrate to you how quickly and easily you can create your diagnostics. For this, of course, you use the CaviTAU Viewer software. First, I will show you how to start the CaviTAU Viewer software on your computer and then load the desired patient file into the viewer. First, load the desired patient files onto your laptop or PC. Where can you find the original files that you want to copy? You can find the files on your master CaviTAU device under the file path e/CaviTAU/, and there you will find the file with the name of the patient you want to copy. Now, click the right mouse button and copy the file to a USB flash or stick drive. Plug the patient file on your USB stick drive into your laptop or PC that is connected to your CaviTAU viewer. Set up a folder on your laptop or PC, for example, CTU calculations, in which you will later save all your patient scans that you want to edit accordingly. Now, click on the CaviTAU viewer icon on your desktop. Wait until the viewer starts. Now you have to name the viewer folder where you have saved your CTU patient files so that it can find them.
Sie Ihre CTU-Patientendateien gespeichert haben, damit dieser sie findet.
To do this, click on Patient Scans in the top left corner. A new window will open with folder settings in the top right corner.
Folder Settings. Wählen Sie
Select your CTU calculations folder from the folder options.
CTU-Berechnungen aus. Rechts unten
Confirm with Select Folder at the bottom right.
Jetzt schließen Sie den Viewer
Now, close the viewer and restart it afterwards, because now it knows where your calculation data is stored.
nach dem Neustart.
After restarting, click on Patient Scans again in the top left corner, and immediately the window with your patient names opens. Click on this patient name and confirm with Load Scan File. Your laptop will then load all patient data onto your screen for the patient you have chosen.
Auf Ihren Bildschirm des Patienten, den Sie gewählt haben. Nun können Sie mit der Interpretation beginnen.
Now you can start interpreting. Now that these CaviTAU data that you have copied over, appear, select the odentin that you want to interpret or calculate.
Interpretieren bzw. berechnen möchten. Wählen Sie dazu.
Choose the most meaningful one of the scans. Now, click on Cell Average and log in the top right corner. Immediately below the large projection of the selected field, a field opens called CTU Window with selected cells at the top and a box below with Average Log.
Mit oben Selected Cells und darunter ein Kästchen mit Average Log. Klicken Sie nun in
Now click on the darkest fields in your chosen odentin with your mouse. You have a choice of clicking on either the darkest red fields on the left or the darkest blue-black fields on the right. The choice is irrelevant.
Die Wahl ist unerheblich.
The clicked cells are marked by a white border. Experience shows that at least 7 to 8 cells of the darkest color must be selected in order to create a reliable CTU value.
Einen verlässlichen CTU-Wert erstellen zu können. Jetzt zeigt Ihnen das CTU.
Now, the CTU window shows you the CTU value. The lower this value is, the less bone density is present.
Nun zeige ich Ihnen die
Now,
Interpretation.
I will show you an interpretation or CTU calculation using a concrete case example. A case example of a trigeminal patient from our practice clinic. Miss Natalia writes in April 2023, "When I came to you, I already had one-sided facial pain for over 4 years without any findings. Since I got my pain at around 23 years old, I was never taken seriously, and no doctor really wanted to deal with it. In the end, I was even classified as incurably ill by one doctor, a devastating diagnosis for me." So, of course, there are the x-rays that we have already seen. So, it's about the left side of the face, and especially the left lower jaw area. We see the OPG here. I have drawn in the DVTs on the right, the slices of the DVTs, just to show you that even the DVTs would require at least a particularly benevolent interpretation to determine a reduced bone density here. With these X-ray findings, the patient has been running around for 4 years without any reasonable diagnosis and without therapy with her exhausting chronic facial pain. What do we see in the findings? In the serum, before surgery, we see that FDOK only has a borderline elevated range of 29. Nevertheless, we take this as a serum indication that FDOK is present and can be responsible for this neuralgia in the sense of neuralgia-inducing cavitation osteonecrosis. We then clarify here how far in the TA1, TA2 swing any massive inflammatory reactions are present. Actually not. This means that we can assume that if we eliminate this local inflammation focus, we will have an immediate reaction, positive reaction. That is, possibly soon or even immediate pain relief. Since the immune system of this still relatively young patient is actually very well regulated.
Noch relativ jungen Patientin eigentlich sehr gut reguliert. Hier nochmal in der Übersicht.
Here again in overview, what we just measured, and we clearly see increased red colorations on the left bottom in area 3.8, 3.9. But now we know through our CaviTAU CTU measurements with the viewer that we don't just have something red here, but if I may fade it in again, we clearly have a CTU of 0.37 in area 3.8. The reference value would be everything that goes roughly towards 2. That is, from 1/8 or over 2 is green, is sufficient bone hardness so that there would be no chronic inflammation here.
Sodass hier keine chronische Inflammation vorliegen würde. Wir gehen wieder zurück auf unsere.
We go back to our little medical history, and here we can clearly say, based on the CTU value beautifully compared to the other side, to the right side she naturally has proximity on the left, and therefore only has these new neuralgia complaints on the left. Post-operatively, I strongly recommend you to carry out these two findings. We take a fatty, degenerated bone sample here, have it examined for Rantes content at IMD Berlin, and find a Rantes content of 6.36 picograms per milliliter compared to a value of about 150. In a healthy jawbone, this is an almost 40-fold increase of this pro-inflammatory, inflammatory cytokine, or inflammatory chemokine. Post-operatively, clear proof of this. In jaw area 3.8, there was a chronic inflammation, and we successfully freed this chronic inflammation here.
Und wir haben diese chronische Entzündung hier erfolgreich befreit. Zweites postoperativer Nachweis.
Second operative evidence of our operative medically induced approach is here the histological finding. The pathologist finds an investment in fibrosis single adipose tissue cells with caliber fluctuations and residues of trophic disorders. This means that the metabolic situation within this bone regeneration is disturbed, and as a result, we have a reduced bone density.
Haben wir eben eine verminderte Knochendichte. Im April 23.
On April 23rd, exactly 1 year ago before surgery, a woman named Natalia writes further, "When I made one last attempt to enter my symptoms on Instagram again, I found a post by Dr. Lechner on YouTube. I have never felt so understood and called you directly. When I came to you at the beginning of 2022, my biggest wish was to get married without pain. Through super-fast appointment scheduling, you fulfilled this dream for me. I was able to plan my wedding without pain and fears in 2022 and simply enjoy it. Since my surgery on March 22nd, I haven't had any pain for a single day and feel so much fitter. I am so infinitely glad that I found you, and thanks to you, can finally live a pain-free and happy life. I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you." The patient now sends us photos of the pain-free wedding and is infinitely grateful to us for the ultrasound diagnosis that finally brought light into this cryptic event after 4 years of pain.
Liebe Kolleginnen und Kollegen,
Dear colleagues, if you need further training and introduction to these CTU measurements, our continuing education events on ultrasound findings are of course available to you.